What's up? Welcome to another video on Overtriggered. Today, for you, don't skip away, Vanguard player, you casual, we are talking about Flesh and Blood. And all the other TCG players here on my channel. In this video, I'm gonna explain why I started with Flesh and Blood and what the game gives you. Not how the game works, but what the game is about, what cool stuff is there, and why I started with Flesh and Blood. For this, as you can see, I'm gonna do a presentation like in school. First of all, the thing you need to know in Flesh and Blood, you play as a hero, you pick a hero and then you build a deck around your hero, just like nations in Vanguard. And when you have a hero, the hero defines your playstyle, but we're gonna go to that a little bit later. And here you can see the artworks of the heroes, and they are just amazing. I cannot say anything else. On the left you can see the old Prism, in the middle Icelander Stormbind. As you can see, that's the actual hero card as you can find it. Viserai, that's my main, cause I'm a cringe edgelord of course. And there again, Lexi, Dash and Bravo. So there's something for everybody. That's one really positive thing about the game. And what I really like, these are the two new heroes. We still don't know the effects, that's why I brought up the full picture artwork. And just look at it. Just look at it. Like damn, on the left the new Prism, the young version, and on the right also the young version of Vincent. Not confirmed if we get an adult version, but I hope to God I want to play Vincent. Vincent looks so nice. Like damn boy. Next thing I'm gonna explain real quick. The rarities in the game. Like you know, in Vanguard they are like common, rares, double rare, triple rare, SP, and so on and so on. If you ever looked up on Card Market for the filter, there are like 250 different rarities, because they switch up all the time, which is nice, not the front. But here it's very simple. There are common, rares, majestics, and legendaries. These are the four main rarities. There are also marvels and super rares. Real quick, for super rares in the older sets, they were some super rares that are just an S, like a pink or a violet an S. And most of the cards here, they are not in foil. Like you can get every majestic, rare and common in plain common, but you can get every card in the game with a foiling. So, and then it's just simple double rare pattern over it. For the Yu-Gi-Oh players, it's just super rare. That's one thing I kinda disliked, cause I was always a fan of super shiny and super epic and stuff like that. But that's a thing I can live with, since you can get so many double rare or foil ones, double rare, super rares. It's okay, I would say. Legendaries, in the other case, are mostly only with foiling. It's called rainbow foil in Flesh and Blood, also for all the other cards, but most of the legendaries are only in rainbow foil. In reprint sets, they get a common reprint. And marvels are a special artwork of a card. I'm gonna blend it in here since I forgot it. And they are usually per set 5 to 8 different marvels you can get, and they all have like this crazy artwork, as you can see, and they are huge collectors cards. And if you want to play full high rarity, you're gonna have to spend a lot of money, like for real, a lot of money. Marvels are expensive. They are also very rare, but they're just like a full artwork card. So you can get the card in a majestic or legendary variant, and then you have just a normal artwork. Let's talk quickly about the gameplay. I have played Flesh and Blood now for 2 months and a little bit, but not consistently, because I also had to go BSF friends and to do other stuff. I'm a busy man. But for the time I played, I must say it was very dynamic. It has like the built-in system of back and forth gameplay. And like you're gonna hear it if you watch some gameplay. It is tempo reliant. If one player got the tempo, he can pressure more, and the other one has to get the tempo back. But that's already too in-depth, but I love this tempo aspect. So if you are gonna look some tutorials up, I'm gonna link them down below. Check them out, and then maybe you will see what I mean. Maybe it's gonna explain it. But really amazing. And the thing with the heroes, as you saw at the beginning, there are, let me go back real quick. There are Elemental Ranger hero, Mechanologist hero, there's a Guardian hero, there's a Runeblade hero, there's an Elemental Wizard hero, and all that kind of stuff. And there's also Light and Shadow and Brute, and these heroes and these cards, like for example Guardian, there are 2 Guardian heroes, and they all share this kinda playstyle. They're not gonna do multiple attacks, but like one huge with an on-hit is gonna mess with you, and that's that kind of playstyle. When you play Runeblade, like I do, you play with 1 to 2 attacks with some small, but you separate your damage between arcane damage and physical damage, which is also a mechanic in the game. You have to block them differently to survive. And the next thing is, when you choose your hero, you still have a variety of builds you can play. It's not like when I compare with Vanguard, I have my Ava deck. Ava is now out for, what do I know, let's say for the competitive standpoint, over half a year, roundabout. And till now, of course, some sets come and they don't really change up the deck much, just maybe a little bit. And then that's it. I have my solved Ava deck list. I can play it probably, yeah, till the next set. Then I'm gonna change 2 cards. If not, I'm gonna change just 1 card. I don't know how many copies, but you know what I mean. And that's it. Since also Vanguard has not much space, since you have 16 triggers, you have 4 PGs, then you have 3 Persona rides, and then you have like essentials like the Obscudites in my deck, and then you have such little room for changes. Some other decks got more room, like Bruce, but overall you only have like around about 23 cards you can swap around, and then you have some staples you have to play, and then get smaller and smaller and smaller. With Flesh and Blood, of course, you have some staples you gonna say in this with this hero I have to play it, but that they are only like, I would say in extreme cases 15 cards, and you play, when you play the CC format, the Classic Constructed, that's the most competitive format, and the format I enjoy the most because it's longer lasting, because you have more life points. That also means you have a bigger deck, and your deck size is at least 60 cards, and with 60 cards you have so many stuff you can build in there. And what is also really amazing, if you don't have the money to buy like the expensive staples, because of course there are some expensive staples in this game, you can just buy cheap options, and they act almost similar to the expensive versions. Of course, when you play in a high tournament, you want the best of the best. But when you're at home and just playing casually with your friends, going to locals, going to armory, just play the common stuff, because the common stuff is really good. This card, as you can see, Pummel. Of course, you're not gonna know what the card, how good the card is, but I can say you it's a common. And if you are playing a deck where you can put it in, it's a massive card. It's really good, and you can just put in 3 in there, and then done. And it's a common. If you want a foil of the common, like the common, for example, costs like 5 cents. If you want a stupid rainbow foil, high rarity stuff, it's gonna cost 10 to 15 bucks. Then to the next topic, it's highly skill based and really not luck dependent. Without explaining too much, after all those games I played, I can say for sure, if you are a consistent good player and your deck build is always on top, you're gonna top, or you're gonna do fine. Topping is a different matter, but overall I bricked now in these games. Of course you can brick, and I bricked once where my hand always, what I drew on end phase, you always draw 4 cards, and with these 4 cards you're gonna play the round. And those 4 cards can screw you over, but it's not like then you can't do shit. So you always get the value even if you brick. You can play around it, and that's what makes it what makes the game consistently skill based, in my opinion. Then To the lore and the fan base, the game has a huge lore, and it's evolving around sets. Right now in July, Dusk Till Dawn is coming, revolves around light and shadow archetypes, and the story continues there. I'm not into the lore actually right now, but I wanna get into it because the lore sounds really interesting. Legendary Studios has thought about doing a series or a film slash movie to the lore, but they want to establish the card game more till they take such a risk of doing a movie or a series with the lore, because they want to anchor the game in the top TCG games worldwide. So that's their plan, and that's hugely respectful to do that, because you know you're gonna have to pump in more money. Even though the game is at a good standpoint right now, it has a lot of players and just everything, but they still want to anchor the game even more before they take such a risk. Next thing is the events, which we are gonna get into in just a bit. They are full of non-competitive people, so just going there for fun, for the experience, for the event, because the event is not like you go in there, there's just like a small vendor and you're gonna play there and talk to people. Like, there are for real events, and there's also cosplay contests. So even if you are a huge cosplay fan, like me, I don't cosplay, but I like to look what people can do with the cosplays and stuff like that. So that's a huge plus point. And even if you are just a casual player, don't want to top, you can go there and just play some rounds, and you're gonna have a lot of side events, you're gonna have some armories and stuff like that, where you can just get stuff for participating, and it's just supporting you as a player, not as a competitive player, but just as a small casual player who just enjoys a card game on a weekend. Now let's get into my favorite part of this game, the tournament and the prizes. Since you know, I am, or if you don't know, if you're new here, I am a huge competitive player. I was it in Yu-Gi-Oh! I am now in Cardfight Vanguard, and gonna be in Flesh and Blood, because that's just my personality. I like to play competitively and create deck builds and innovate them and whatever. The thing is, with Flesh and Blood, they have huge prizes, like money prizes and card prizes. About card prizes, I'm gonna link a video of Tales of Alex. It's 2 hours long. It's really huge. He compares there the card prizes from Flesh and Blood with the card prize from Yu-Gi-Oh! And he brings up a lot of good points and why that is good. So I'm just gonna link it, check it out. I watched it. It was amazing. And they also have money prizes, and not small ones. We're gonna look to that. The events are well structured. Battle Hardened Metropole Ruhr will be my first Battle Hardened or Flesh and Blood event I'm gonna go. But from what I saw through vlogs and through the websites, everything I want to know, I know. Like, everything is well structured. I don't know if it's well organized, but I'm thinking it's depending on which event you go. But overall, they gave a really well structured image, and they have live streams, man. They have live streams for those events. Of course, if you compare to Vanguard is like a small indie company in EU and NA. Of course, there's not much of live streaming, but I really enjoy live streams in TCGs. If I'm somewhere and I see, oh my god, semifinals and finals are coming up, I want to watch them. Maybe I'm not gonna watch the 14 rounds, what do I know of Swiss? But on the finals, semifinals, they're very interesting. Very high-skilled players play against each other. And in a game like this, where so many different builds exist, it's always a pleasure to watch those live streams. And now let's get through the organized play website of them. The organized play website from this website is the go-to website where all of the events are up there, what's coming up and what was there and so on. The Battle Hardened has usually around 200 to 300 players, and for the prizes, as you can see, first place gets $2,000, second place $1,000, third to fourth place $400, and so on. And they also have random drop cold foil, that's the envelope I talked about. Blackwing Studio tokens, I have no idea what that is. And the entry for these events is $65, so it is definitely more. But what I will do, and already done it for my battle hardened, on the first day there is like a super armor event. So, and that's the pre-event. Then you have the battle hardened, which is the main tournament, and then you have a PTI, professional tournament invitation tournament, if you want to drop from the battle hardened because the standing is bad. And each costs, like this costs 25 euros, battle hardened costs 45 euros, and super armory costs 10 euros. So that's a total of 80. Yeah, that's 80. It's actually a cheap armory, but I think the prices are gonna be no money prices, so that's why the entry is so cheap. But you can buy a FAB package. That's a whole package where you get all events, like super armory in this case, battle hardened, and the PTI tournament, and you get up to 2 side events, I think. And when you count all of those side events and stuff together, I would always go for the FAB package and stay there for the whole 3 days and do side events and just have fun. And when you purchase the FAB package, usually you get like a nice playmat and a deck box, which is also a value of money, so it's definitely worth to buy the FAB package. Then we go to the calling, which is the next step to the tournaments, because in the calling there's higher prize pools and a lot of more players. Like there goes to 1,000 people, maybe 1,200 and so on. And real quick to the prices, because that's why we're here for. No, just kidding. First place gets $5,000, second place 2,400, third to fourth place 1,200, and so on. And also first place in the calling gets extended artwork Crown of Providence. Crown of Providence is this card. As you can see, oh my god, it went up like hell. I bought it for 215, so it is a card you need, but real quick, don't be afraid now of the prices. This card is really only if you want to go highly competitive. You don't need it if you want to start, but it's a highly competitive card, and this is the cheapest version you can get now for 280 and then 300 plus. There's the extended artwork which you get, and this is this beauty. Like you can see the text box is like transparent. You can see the full art, you see the gold stuff, and they're not available, and these go, I would say, for around 5,000 plus, something like that. And that's the card you get besides to the $5K. So it is a lot of money you can win there. And also if you're just the top 32, which is also a possibility, you get $250. So costs like the trip and the hotel are paid there. Back to this screen, since we talked like for 20 minutes right now just about tournaments. But tournaments is for me an essential point of a card game, because tournaments should not be just competitively, they should also be for casual players and just social players who just want to go there, talk with people, play some rounds, do some side events, maybe go in for the big tournament and just, I don't care, just do it. Yeah, it is involved with some prizes, entry fees, but in my opinion I gladly pay for the entry fees to get like a big tournament and to have different stuff and well structured and everything with the FAB package, as I said. Okay, biggest chapter over. Real quick, Flesh and Blood is an NAEU card game. It's not a Japanese company. The people in Legend Story Studios were in Wizard of the Coast designing magic stuff, then they somehow quit from there and built their own studio. I don't know more, and I don't want this video to go even longer. And so they are stationed in New Zealand actually. What the amazing part is that this is not an Japanese or Asian or whatever product, is that the first release is in NA and EU, which gives you so many different things. Like, I played only Japanese card games, so I didn't know much of a difference here. But now when I'm playing Flesh and Blood, and I have witnessed one set release now, and I'm about to witness my second set release now with Dusk Till Dawn. And the thing is, those cards are coming and you're reading them and thinking, I don't know yet. And then when you get the card and you play with them, you see, oh, this card is really good, and that card, and with this card that combos really well. With Japanese card games, you don't have that. Like, you have these releases in Japan, and 3 months after that you get it. But in those 3 months, you see all the results, you see the deck text, you see stuff they play, and you just adapt it. You skip the whole process of defining the meta and realizing which card does what and stuff like that. You just skip that. And that is a thing I really enjoy in this game right now, since I never had that actually. That's a totally new experience. Next thing is with TCG market or card market. Same with the Japanese deck list. You see the top builds, you see the text, and then when the game comes to us, when the card comes to Europe and NA, those cards are already high price. Since everybody knows, okay, this card is good, this card is good, this card is good. Now, when the set releases and you have a hunch, because you are an invested player, you did your research and you did your playtesting, like with proxies and stuff like that, maybe if you're really hardcore, you can do the buys yourself and then maybe profit or not. But if you're totally sure this card is huge, I want it, then you're gonna make some money off of it, probably. And what also really nice is there are no delays, which card market is suffering right now, since they have to ship from Singapore and stuff like that. Don't even get me to the promos, I hate it. And here I get my promos in my locals, I get them online, like the distribution is just well executed. 45-minute video, I wanted to do 20 minutes. Pray that I can cut it back, but thank you for watching if you watched it till the end. And the only thing I can say, consider playing it. The community is not small, there are a lot of players. If the artwork is your kind of style, because that's in the end the point that decides, in my opinion, if you like the artwork and you can identify yourself with the card game, then try it. Just give it a try. You can buy a blitz structure decks, buy some packs and upgrade it, because upgrading is so easy in this game, and totally not feeling like your build is super wanky. You can always do stuff, which is just nice about this game. Thank you for watching, and I hope you could learn something from me, and check out the links down below about the guide how to play Flesh and Blood, and also if you're interested in the price card history of Flesh and Blood, Tales of Alex made a really nice video. Shout out to you. Bye.